What it is, YouTube? Is your boy Nitsy coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. So today I wanted to drop some gems about how I like to use the DBX 160, a very classic and important vocal compressor and a compressor in general that was really very important for hip hop music and is a great way of adding presence to vocals. So let's go over this today. Let's not waste no time, okay? If you guys do like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also drop more suggestions down below for what type of videos we should be doing. And also, if you guys do like the the video down below too, there's gonna be some free presets that are going to be coming with this down below for like some really dope or different ways I like to use it. So let's get to listening to the song right now. Let's go.
That chopper and I'm sipping double cup. I keep them shooters in my rear view. I tell them bust, you pull on side me. Hero, we leave the body. What you trying to get into? She like them put that dick inside me. Hold on, I drive. Say them bags right out the back. In the basement we got dirty. Tell my bro to keep them curtains closed. We living like it's not cold. Shit in my mirror. I think the feds listen through Siri. I think them niggas trying to get me. I think them niggas trying to pin me. Hold on, yeah. Swat the phones, bag the
Really dope song from a really dope artist that I got here today, and I'm gonna drop his info down below too. Okay, so the most important thing about a DBX 160, when I think about this DBX 160, the first image that comes into my mind is Rice Krispie treats. Yes, Rice Krispie treats, because when you think about Rice Krispie treats, the first thing you think about is snap, crackle, and pop, and that's exactly what the DBX 160 does for vocals. It has the VCA circuit in it, so it's like a voltage control amplifier, which and just in general, when you think about VCA, you think about API 2500, you think about the SSL board compressor, the SSL bus compressor. You feel me? Those are some of the compressors that use that VCA topology, and that VCA topology has a way of putting an emphasis on specifically the mid-range and the higher mid. That's why it works very well on rap vocals. You see a guy like Mixed by Ali, he likes to use that too. That's a great compressor he likes to use on vocals. Tupac used to use that. I think he used to use the U87 as his microphone and the DBX 160 as his vocal compressor. So really dope when you think about that throwback, just in general. It's a timeless sound. It sounded great for Tupac, and nowadays it still sounds great and people are still using it. So I want to show you a way I like to use the DBX 160. The first way is I like to use it as a vocal limiter towards the very end of my vocal chain, right? Because his vocal is somewhat, it doesn't really have too much low end in it, so I want to use a limiter on his vocal to create a faux low end. That's why sometimes people, they might put a limiter on a bass or something like that, because when you squish something with the limiter, it's like a situation where how like you might have like a cheese, right? A cheese grater, right? You take that cheese grater, you take a piece of cheese and you push it through the grater, and all of a sudden, like because you're squeezing it, kind of like a limiter is squeezing the vocal, now the cheese starts to push out a little bit more through the grater, type shit like that, right? So that's what I'm doing. 1 dB of tickling of presence for the vocal.
that chopper and I'm sipping double cup. I keep them shooters in my rear view. I tell them bust, you pull on side me. Hero, we leave the body. What you trying to get into? She like them put that dick inside me. Hold on, I drive. Say them bags right out the back. In the basement we got dirty. Tell my bro to keep them curtains closed. We living like it's not cold. Shit in my mirror. I think the feds listen through Siri. I think them niggas trying to get me. I think them niggas trying to pin me.
So as you can see right here, we're not adding any volume, no level or nothing like that. We're just doing a little bit of limiting onto the vocal, and that kind of just pushes the vocal up front. You see, it's putting more emphasis on specifically the mid-range, right? And because it's doing that, it makes the vocal feel like it's actually louder a little bit too, right? So that's the first preset that is going to come in the pack, the 1 dB vocal tickler. I like to use another plugin too, which is like the Faraday limiter. And the Faraday limiter is really dope because you have like an internal sidechain filter, which I think the DBX 160 has too, but it uses something like the Faraday limiters too, because you could push the warmth circuit, right? And that in itself does like a little tilt filter that pushes more of the fat, the belly and the grease inside of the limiter, so it brings out more low end, right? So that's a great way of using limiters to bring body into your vocals, not necessarily doing no boosting EQ. Okay, the next way that I like to use DBX 160 is as an ad-lib flammer. So sometimes you might have ad-libs that might feel a little bit stagnant, you feel me, in regards to like movement. And I want my ad-libs to kind of be like, when you go to a car dealership and they have like that wacky waveable arm flailing tube man type of thing that's waving all up and down. You know, I kind of like to do that a little bit to my background vocals to give them a little bit of wacky movement that helps them stand out in the mix. So what I do is you know, I will have like a varying amount of compression, right? Whether it be the ratio or the threshold. So each side of the background vocals is getting compressed a little bit differently, kind of giving it like a wacky movement.
That chopper and I'm sipping double cup. I keep them shooters in my rear view. I tell them bust you pull on side me. You real we leave the body. What you trying to get into? She like them put that dick inside me. Hold on, I drive it. Them bags right out the back door. In the basement we got dirty clothes. My bro to keep them curtains closed. We living like it's narco. Shit in my mirror. I think the feds listen through Siri. I think them niggas trying to get me. I think them niggas trying to pin me. Hold on. Back to fucking work, it's time to swap the fucking homes. Time to call my homie, gotta give me a new chrome. The block hot, but a nigga still in the zone. See, I'm gon' get that money, you gon' go and hate on me or what? I'm in Miami, watch me jump right out that double R. Trophies, bitch, she with me.
So the thing about the DBX 160 is that it's kind of like program dependent. So as you change the ratio in itself, that's gonna change the attack and the release. And that's something that's very common with them throwback, you feel me, type of compressors, similar to you know, like a LA2A, a LA3 is like that, right? Even though it's a different topology, just in general, a lot of the throwback compressors have a variable attack and release. They're program dependent. Versus where more modern, you know, compressors, they let you pick the attack and release. It's like if you go to a party and they're like, yo, you know, we have our rules, or you go to the pool and they say, yo, you got to abide by these rules. You feel me? Like the compressor already kind of has its own setup, you know, type of stand, own kind of setup law. You feel me? When the vocal goes into the compressor, it will accommodate to it, type shit like that. So I like to use that to like make my ad libs flam around. I also like to use the API 2500 and put it on unlinked mode and like let like different volumes of the ad libs kind of like make it go up and down a little bit. You feel me? Kind of giving it like a wacky movement. And then after that, the last way I like to use the DBX 160 is I like to use it as a stereo widener. And this is really dope because this is very transparent if you try to use this on your master fader. So what I do is I put it on 1-to-1, so that means that there's pretty much not going to be any compression happening at all. And I use like the mid side. I put it on mid side, and I mess around with the mid and the side. So I duck down the mid only delicately by like 0.2 dB, and I push the sides, and it literally naturally widens the mix. You could also apply this technique to your 2-track beat to create a little bit space for your vocal without having to do like soothe or track spacer or whatever dynamic EQ stuff like that. That might make you like lose the melody, or that might make you like lose the kick drum or lose some of the, you know, little fine details within the 2-track beat. So I like to use the DBX 160 like this, you feel me, to widen up the mix.
Back to fucking work, it's time to swap the the block hot, but a nigga still in the cut. I gotta keep my head on. I know these niggas wanna see me dead and gone, but you see me standing strong. Fuck you, ain't no love lost. John Gotti living like a boss, and I give me fucking crops. 100, 200, 3, 400, 506. Stack that money selling key. You make that play, you keep your sticks. 700, 809. Came up in that dirty crime, but you better not cross that line. Watch that chopper get the fine. See, I'm gon' get that money, you gon' go and hate on me or what? I'm in Miami, watch me jump right out that double R. Truck this bitch, she with.
So something that's a very delicate trick, but that's really good too, because it might not mess with the phase of your actual mix, versus where like you put like a S1 stereo imager on your master fader that uses like that literally starts to like mess with the phase of the mix, and that can like smear the low end, smear the kick and everything like that. So I like doing something like that in a healthy way. Also do that same trick with something like a Fairchild 672 to, you know, kind of give like a widening effect to the music, right? So you know, this is pretty much the end of the video here today. I'm gonna drop the link down below for the preset pack that you guys can get. This song is also a part of like a full-length course where I break down the kick drum, the bass, the music, how we got everything sounding good, the master and everything like that. So you know, this is part of a bigger course. Check that out if you guys want it. And I just want to say thank you very much for being a great part of my YouTube family today too. I changed my camera angle a little bit. Let me know how y'all feel about this camera angle. I think this brings even more clarity to the videos. Oh my God, let me know down below how you feel about the new camera angle, okay? So I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. I appreciate y'all now. Peace.